Welcome to this tutorial about how to paint this watercolor about Pitigliano, which is a little teeny tiny town in the mountains of Tuscany. And I'm gonna zoom in and show you all the details that I'm painting. Um, and it's a very interesting town because it's on a rock, and on top of it, they build this entire town. So it's quite unique, I would say. And if you can please like and subscribe and hit the bell, that definitely helps me. Um, so where is this Pitigliano? If you look up the map of Florence, this is where my art studio is. And you go a little bit of south of Florence, there is Siena, beautiful town also to paint, and I have done some paintings there. And you go way south, almost close to the Lazio border, which is where Rome is. You find this town of Pitigliano. And there is other two towns. One is Sovana, and the other one I don't remember the name. But these are very quaint towns in the Tuscan hills, and it's beautiful. It's built of tufo, which is a sedimentary rock, kind of like travertine, but different kind. And it's all brown like this. So the entire town is built out of this very porous but extremely strong rock. And this is what it looks like. And it's quite charming, actually. And there's a lot of towns in Italy, they look like this because they're built of this sedimentary rock. So there's little arches. They basically just went up and up on the mountain and kept building. And statues built like this is a Roman aqueduct. I have no idea how they brought water up there, but apparently the Romans did. So quite an architectural feature. Beautiful town, fountains, and you can find all sorts of architectural things there. But I don't want to bore you with this. Let's go back to painting. Oh, also, if you want to explore, there's an Etruscan necropoli where they used to bury people in the Etruscan era, and it's very well preserved because the archaeologists said that Italians didn't intervene in this, so it's very well preserved. Okay, so the painting today is basically you have to do really good drawing first. And I like this perspective because you can see the church in the background. And then there's another church on the left side. I don't think you can see it right now. But basically, you just, I applied this ink that I colored the whole thing with the ink. And I did like a substrate where you draw with the ink and you highlight all the edges of the houses, the roofs and everything. And this is done so that you have an easier time to get the colors applied. Because if you had to do every single house without these outlines, it will probably take 3 weeks to do one small watercolor, because you have to work with dark spots and you have to work with light spots, and every single house has to be somehow brought to life with just watercolor, which is very difficult in this case. So I'm helping myself with ink to define the houses first, and then we're going to apply the watercolor. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here because it's all the same. Basically, you just color it like this, and then this is the final result, which is it's already kind of cute. I kind of like this one. But let's do watercolor on this. So the first thing I do, I apply the big washes. So I have a green one down there, then there is a brown one, and then the sky. I also messed up the sky a little bit, but that was the paper was not properly. Anyways, there was a technical problem in the paper, and I couldn't get the wash out. But now, see, I'm applying a second layer of wash, which is going to create like a perspective. So you can see this is vegetation that's a little bit closer to us, the viewer. And This one is going to create a perspective. So it's going to look like little trees. Um, and in the background, I also colored the stones a little bit darker so that it will look like there is a rock. And then the town is going to sit on top of it. It's going to be lighter. But here I'm using green, dark green. I think it's green, but I mixed all my colors. So I almost never use colors right out of the tube or out of the little brick that watercolors come in. And yeah, I'm just trying to like get an effect going. And this is what I'm doing here is I'm applying darker colors. So I do lighter washes first, and then I apply darker colors on top of it and going more detailed with the darker colors. So as you can see, they kind of blend in because the paper was still wet, which is exactly what I wanted. And as you can see, it's kind of it's not defining yet, but it's blending in, and it's the paper is soaking up the watercolor, which is a very nice effect. This might have happened by accident, but I think it's very good. And then I just keep going and basically apply more and more detail. Now here I'm doing the roofs, and I wanted to show you this detail because every single roof, this is a big watercolor, and every single roof had to be done. Italians, there's actually laws in place in Italy that only allow you to do roofs in a certain way, and so they do they do cotto on their roofs. And here I'm applying the first shadows so that the entire painting comes to life, because by shadowing certain houses, and it has to be very precise, by shadowing certain houses, you create a 3D effect. So the 3D effect, as you can see here, I put them side by side. And so on the right side, you have a little bit more of a 3D perception. And on the left side, it's kind of flat. It's flat. So the way how you create the impression of depth is by applying shadows. And this is what I'm doing here. I'm applying shadows under the roofs. We're going to see it a little bit later. And that creates the impression of a roof over the house that's sticking out a little bit, and it's causing the shadow to go down. So another thing I wanted to point out here is that the windows have to be all dark because unfortunately the light doesn't go there. And I'm applying some very details here, very detailed things. So of course every roof has its own shadow underneath. And then there's more details there. I did some balconies. I did some other things. And this, you can just go wild with the details. And this is the main tower. Of course, this is gonna be all nicely shadowed. And that's the front of the church. So the church is kind of backwards here. I think the tower is slightly reminiscent of the Byzantine Empire. I don't know, but it's square on top, which kind of makes me think it's a little Middle Eastern maybe influence. Could be. I don't know. I have to look this up. But anyways, this is the finished product here. There's the second church if you look on the left. This was quite a watercolor. It's big. It's about 20 inches by I think 15. So it was quite laborious, and I see some other problems there, but those are fixable. And please like and subscribe if you really enjoyed what I did. Thank you very much for watching. And this is my studio in Florence, and I'm right downtown, so it's really magical. Come visit Florence. It's such a beautiful place. See you next time.